Joining me now with a meaningful suggestion for reform is Garth Hamilton, the federal member for Groom. Garth, thank you so much for joining me today. Now, you've got a private member's bill before the federal parliament that could make a difference here. Tell me about it.
Absolutely, and to be clear, this isn't trying to stop the crime wave. That's the responsibility of the state government. But one thing that's come back to me every time I speak to a victim of crime in my hometown of Toowoomba is the emotional response they get when the perpetrators then go on to post and brag about this on social media. It's as if you have to suffer the indignity of being a victim of this sort of, quite frankly, very aggressive crime that we're seeing at the moment. But then to have that followed up, to have insult further pushed upon you, to see these crimes then played out in social media, it gives the feeling, I think, for a lot of people that this is out of control, that there are no consequences and these kids can do whatever they like. My private member's bill, Breaking Online Notoriety Bill, simply enables the E-Safety Commissioner to expand their powers to cover these sorts of crimes. They can then, working with the big social media companies, have those posts and pages brought down. It's a simple step. It makes life just that little bit harder for the people who are committing these crimes, but I think that's really where we as a federal government, as federal parliamentarians, can focus our efforts.
It's got some support already from criminologists and advocates in the community. Has that support been helpful in getting people to understand what can be done, at least from the federal level, to try and scaffold a state government that's really underperforming here?
Amazingly, this came from the ground up. This is something that has come from the ground up, and the support it's got has been fantastic. The great part about this, there's no extra powers, there's no extra process, there's no extra cost to the taxpayers. All of that was put in place in 2021 when we made those changes under then Minister Paul Fletcher. Yeah. So this is a very simple step we can make, Amanda, something very simple we can do, and I think it's quite an obvious one that most people, when they hear about it, think, yes, I'd like that to happen. I'd like these people to not be able to post this, not be able to brag about their crimes.
Most of the levers for reducing youth crime do lie in the hands of state governments, though. What should the PALASZCZUK government be doing to respond to the needs of a community like Toowoomba?
First up, the Premier should have showed up when we had our forum.
That's a good start.
You're the Premier, not everything's good. You don't get to go to red carpets all the time. Sometimes you've got to show up to very bad things. She should have done that. Turning up in the car park of the local police station and holding, a hidden, quiet conference, I think is...
Photo op only?
Oh, it's absolute gutless. There's no sympathy for her on that front. But look, there's two clear things we need to see, and you've spoken about that. Magistrates using detention as a last resort only, that needs to change very quickly. And I think we get a giveaway when the Premier talks about maximum sentences being increased. Well, they're never used. It's the minimum sentences. Changing those, increasing those will have some impact. And so that once again, people can feel some confidence, Amanda, that there are punishments for these crimes that are appropriate. I don't want to see more kids in jail or in detention. I just want to see less kids committing these barbaric crimes. And until such time as we have appropriate punishments in place, and that's entirely the state government's responsibility, this will continue.